flip them back on anytime. All right, so we're gonna come onto the back, we're gonna lay down and just choose whatever you wanna do with your legs here. So a few different options are, you could bring the soles of your feet together, you could let your knees knock out wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. You could just extend your legs out straight if that feels good. You could also bend your knees, bring your feet to the outer edges of your mat and let your knees knock together. So you just do what feels most appropriate. And then we're gonna try for goalposts this morning and see how that feels with the arms. So if you take your arms out into a big wide T shape and then bend your elbows. And then, so the backs of the hands stay on the mat and you make kind of this goalpost shape with the arms. Try that and see how it feels. You might find that it feels perfectly comfortable and you can hang there, and you might find that, nah, that's not for you today, and that's fine. Then just extend the arms out as wide as necessary to feel more comfortable. Maybe sometimes it's just a little bit of an adjustment that you need to make to get a little bit more comfortable, maybe sliding the shoulder blades down the back a little bit, or maybe lowering your elbows or raising your elbows a little bit. There's a lot of freedom here to play and move and to see what feels most appropriate for you today. And in this practice today, we're going to focus on trying to stay as present as possible. Our minds wander. Just as human beings, we are thinkers, we are planners, we are dreamers. And that's all good, that's all fine. But we also have to harness this power of presence that isn't there unless we practice it. So today we'll just focus on practicing presence, staying as present as possible, and noticing when that's difficult, noticing when the mind wanders to other places, and using those distractions as gentle reminders to come back to the present. So we don't need to overthink it. We don't need to make it this whole big meal, this big project to stay present. We'll just notice it today, and we'll notice when presence becomes a little bit more challenging, and we'll practice the power that we have to harness this presence by staying focused on the now. So to start really simply, we're just going to breathe in and out through the nose, focusing on that slow, steady breath. If you're still tensing, if you're gripping anywhere in your physical body here, you can release, you can soften, you can adjust. Feel the rise and the fall of the body as you breathe. Feel a softness come over you as you begin to cultivate this space. And if the mind starts to wander, if it goes to a place in the future, if it goes to a place in the past, just notice it and bring it back to the breath. Keep it really simple. If your legs are straight, we're going to bend the knees. We're going to walk the feet back towards the bum, and we're going to walk the feet wide on your mat. So feet are going to come all the way to the outer edges of the mat there. And then let your knees drop over to the right. Don't bring your legs together. Keep the feet wide, let the knees drop to the right. And then as your knees drop to the right, let them go heavy. Notice any sensation you're getting there. And then turn your head to the left, a little or a lot, just depending on how pleasant the stretch in the neck feels. Maybe you don't even feel that much by turning your head to the left, and that's fine. Don't force it. But if you turn your head to the left and you think, oof, that feels a little bit pulley in the top of the shoulder or the side of the neck, then just back off. Don't turn so far. Visualize the left side of the body here. Visualize the sensation. Relax into it. And then bring your knees back up to center, bring your head back to center, and then we're going to take the knees to the left. Same thing, let them go heavy. And then turn your head to the right, a little or a lot. Give yourself the freedom in this practice to play, to modify, to explore. Visualize the right side of your body as if you could actually see the sensation, where it is. And then bring the knees back to center and bring the head back to center. Let's bring the right knee up into the chest. And if you want to open your eyes, if you'd be more comfortable opening your eyes, you can. Otherwise, keep the eyes closed. We're going to bring the right knee up into the chest and then the left knee up into the chest. And then cross your right knee over your left. So like you're sitting in a chair with a skirt on. So knee over knee, and then hug the knees in. You can wrap your arms around your shins and give your knees a gentle hug in there. Maybe circle the ankles around a little bit if that feels good. And if you do circle the ankles, just go in both directions. Go a few times both ways. And then uncross the legs, extend the legs up towards the ceiling, and then cross left over right. Bend the knees, hug in again. Circle the feet around, go both directions. And then again, extend the legs up to the sky and cross right over left again, and then hug them in again. Circle the feet if you like. And then extend the legs up and left over right. And one more time. Circle the feet if you like. Hug in. Okay, uncross the legs, extend the legs up. Give them just a little bit of a shake out as your legs are extended up, maybe a little bit of a pedal, legs up in the air there, just easing into the back of the legs a little. And then bend both knees and bring the knees into the chest. Take your arms out again, go for a big wide T shape, or if you want to go for those goalposts, bending the elbows, do that. And then take your knees over to the right. Now this time your knees are together. You're going to drop the knees all the way over to the right and bring the knees up nice and high there towards the right elbow, and then let the legs extend a little bit. So don't try and straighten the legs. Just don't bend them as much as maybe they were bending. Let them ease off the bend and let them settle. Try and keep the back of the left shoulder down. If you want to turn your head back to the left, go for it. Otherwise, just straight up is cool. And then bend your knees a little bit more. Bring your knees back to center and then over to the left. And again, keep the knees up nice and high, but then extend the legs a little bit. Let them unbend. Settle the back, the right shoulder back. If you want to turn your head to the right, go for it. And then come all the way back up to center. Give your knees a great big hug in. Keep your head and your neck relaxed here just for the moment. All right, and then let's rock up. We're gonna come all the way up and then swing your legs around back behind you. Then we'll come to a tabletop. Spread your fingers wide. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes under, and then sit your bum back to your heels to get a stretch in your feet there. And then when your bum goes back to your heels, walk your hands forward, as far forward as you can get your hands without moving your butt off your heels. So keep your butt back as far as possible. Spread the fingers wide, press into the pads of the fingers. Then as you inhale, keep your arms straight, come forward. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. Keep your belly drawing up away from the mat there. Don't let them drop. Don't let the belly drop down. Then exhale, sit back to the heels. Push the hands forward into your mat to sit the bum back. And then inhale, come forward. Shoulders come forward over the wrists. So you should feel some weight in your hands there, really spreading through the fingers. Exhale, sit back. And then again, inhale, come forward. And then exhale, sit back. Now come back up into a tabletop here. Walk your hands back under your shoulders. You can untuck your toes there. Bring your knees together, and then we're gonna cross, this is a little bit awkward to get into, but we're gonna cross that right knee over the left. And then separate your feet back there as much as your hips will allow. Okay, so if they're together, that's okay, but if they'll separate a little bit, separate them. Then try to sit your bum back towards that space between your heels, only as far back as feels accessible. Walk your hands forward again. So bum's going back as far as it will, hands come forward. Then inhale, come forward. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. And then exhale, sit back, sending the bum back to that space between the heels. And again, inhale, come forward. Arms stay nice and straight. Then exhale, go back. And one more, inhale, come forward. And then exhale, go back. Sit it back, push into the hands. Sit the bum back as far back there as it will go. Take a deep breath, maybe rest the forehead. And then release, come back into your tabletop and uncross the right leg. Bring your knees back to about hips distance here. Tuck your toes under again. Your hands are still that little bit further forward. So now sit back, bum back to the heels again, and walk the hands as far forward as you can with your bum sitting back towards your heels. Now we're gonna add a little bit of a push up to this one. So inhale, come forward, bring your shoulders forward, arms nice and straight. Turn your inner elbow creases forward so your elbows are facing back. Then exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, push, and exhale, sit the bum back to the heels. Press back. We're gonna do that again 2 more times. So inhale, come forward. Inner elbow creases turn forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, sit back. One more time. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push back up. And exhale, sit back. And before we do the other side, we're going to come to downward facing dog. So lift the hips, lift the knees, and let's come into our first down dog here. Maybe take your hands a little bit wider, maybe take your feet a little bit wider. Now lift your bum up. Feel free to soften the knees, but keep your bum up high. Go into a pedal. Back of the neck nice and long, so the ears are in line with the upper arms there. Maybe add a little sway into your hips. All right, and then come back down into a tabletop. Then bring your knees together, And we're going to take left knee and cross it over the right. Separate the feet as much as you can, and then sit the bum back to that space between the heels. Walk the hands forward a little bit more as you sit back. Keep the arms nice and straight, and then inhale, come forward. Weight comes forward into the hands. And then exhale as you go back. A few more times like that. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, sit back. And one more time. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, go back. Press into the hands, sit the bum back as far back as it'll go. Maybe rest the head just for a moment. Inhale. And then exhale, release. Uncross the left leg, go back into your tabletop. Bring your knees back to about hips distance apart, tuck the toes. Walk your hands now back to your knees. And then let's lift the knees and come into a forward fold. Lift the hips. Walk your hands back, walk your feet a little wider. Drop the crown of the head down. Give your head a little shake out there. Yes, no. Knees as soft as you like there. So little soft, big soft. Drop the head down. Get really heavy through the upper body. Press down through the fronts of the feet. So make sure you're not sitting into your heels, but push down into the fronts of the feet as if you're sitting forward into the toes. And then inhale, rise up halfway to lengthen into a flat back. You can slide your hands up your shins. You can come to your fingertips. Shoulders plug back. Exhale, then fold again. Soften your knees. Drop the crown of the head down. Do that a few more times. Use your own breath. Inhale, rise up halfway to lengthen. And then as you exhale, drop back down into the fold. Close your eyes. Just let yourself flow through these shapes a few times using your breath. Follow your breath. Come back down into your fold. Let your knees get a little soft. Drop the crown of the head. And then roll yourself all the way up to stand. Push down through your feet as you roll up. Take your arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace your hands. Push your palms up. Take a deep breath in. Lift your chest. And then as you exhale, arms down by your sides. Take a big roll of your right shoulder back in space. Take a big roll of your left shoulder back in space. Bring your feet to about hips distance apart. And then let's take a big breath in, reach the arms up. And then exhale, fold. Come all the way down. Uttanasana. Then rise up halfway, lengthening once again into your flat back and straight legs. And then walk your hands forward. We'll go for downward facing dog again. So mindful steps of the hands, spreading the fingers, pushing the front of the mat forward and settle back into your downward facing dog. You can go into a pedal, or you can lift the heels and then drop the heels a few times, or you can sit in stillness. You can sway the hips, you can pedal the arms. Feel free to settle into these down dogs however feels most appropriate. And take another breath in. Let it go. And then let's walk the feet forward to the hands. So we'll come to the front of the mat. Bring the feet about hips distance apart. Soften the knees once again. Drop down through the crown of the head. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen, flat back, straight legs. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take your arms up to the sky. And then arms down by your sides. Close your eyes here for a moment. Slow the breath right down. Root down through your feet. Feel the strength in your legs. Draw back through your low belly. Soften your shoulders. And then open your eyes. Let your gaze rest on one spot. So we'll find our drishti and keep the eyes there. Then take an inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, bend your knees, step your right foot to the back of the mat. We'll go into a lunge to start. So we're going to keep the ball of that back foot up. If you feel wobbly, step the right foot a little bit further to the right. Then let's inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And then exhale, hands to the heart again. And then do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Keep the belly nice and strong here. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Now start to shift the weight forward just a little bit into that left foot. And then step the right foot back to where you were. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, hands to the heart, bend your knees, step your left foot to the back of the mat. So we go into a lunge here. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And again, inhale. And exhale. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Shift the weight forward into the right foot. Step forward back to the front of the mat. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen into a flat back and straight legs. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down. So bend your knees as much as you need to. So your hands come all the way down. Step the right foot, then the left foot all the way back and go into downward facing dog. Spread the fingers, push forward into the mat. Let the heels drop as the sitting bones lift. So stick your bum up to the sky. Then inhale, come forward into plank. Feel free to take the knees down or leave the knees up, shoulders plugged back. Lower yourself all the way down. Then press down through the tops of your feet. Take your hands wider than your mat. And inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift the chest. Press down through the thighs, through the tops of the feet. Exhale, lower. Now this time, as you come up again, we're going to come up right shoulder and then left. And then right shoulder down and then left. Now we're going to switch. So left shoulder up and then right. And then left shoulder down and then right. Now we're going to come up through center, roll both shoulders back, lift up, and then lower. Slide your hands back under your elbows onto your mat. Tuck your toes under and pull it all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Spread the fingers, push forward, sink the heels, breathe. And then look forward to the front of your mat and walk your feet forward. Again, hips distance. Drop the crown of the head down. Knees as soft as you like. Inhale, rise up halfway to lengthen. And then exhale to fold. And then inhale, rise all the way up, take your arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up again. Exhale, hands to the heart, bend your knees, step your right foot to the back of the mat. With control, stay on the ball of the right foot. Now inhale, reach your arms up, and this time, as we exhale, we're going to twist out to the left, turning the chest to the left, right arm reaches forward. Inhale, come back to center, take your arms up, and exhale, twist to the left again. Same way again, Ada. Same way again, there you go. And then inhale, come back to center, and exhale to the left again. Then inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands down. Left knee is going to start bent here. So you're in your lunge. Your left knee is over your ankle. Now just start to pull the left knee back a little bit. Don't go super straight. Just straighter than you were and then bend again. So do that a few times. Just play a little bit straighter and then bend again. Don't try and push straight. Just play. And bend back into that left knee. Plant the right hand down under your shoulder, and we'll take a twist. Left arm to the sky. Turn the chest up. Press the right heel straight back behind you, super straight and strong, and breathe. Another big breath in there. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand down. We're going to step forward back to the front of the mat. Soften the knees, fold there. Notice here what's happening in the body, maybe the difference in the two sides of the body if you notice it. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, take your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart, bend your knees, step your left foot to the back of the mat with control, back in your lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then as you exhale, this time we're going to twist out to the right. Turn your chest to the right, right arm reaches back. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, twist to the right. Then inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. And again, we start with this big bend, knee over the ankle, and then we pull back just a little. Don't try and straighten all the way. Just play with the sensation there and go forward and back a few times. And then bend back into that right knee, plant the left hand, take your right arm up for that twist. You've got a big bend in your right knee now, but really press that left leg super straight. Turn your chest up towards the right hand and breathe. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down, big step forward, back to the front of the mat. Fold there. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take your arms up to the sky. Exhale, arms down by your sides. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen to a flat back. Now as you exhale, hands down, step left foot, then right foot back, downward facing dog. Push forward into the mat, sink the heels. Lift the sitting bones. And then inhale, come forward into your plank. You decide knees up or down, and then your chaturanga. So we're going to come to the belly in a straight line down. Bring your hands wide once again. Press the tops of the feet and the thighs down. Inhale, rise up, wide-handed cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, when you come up again, right shoulder, then left. And then right shoulder down and then left. And we switch. Left shoulder up and then right. And then left shoulder down and then right. One more time to center. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, lower. Slide your hands back onto your mat under your elbows, tuck your toes, and press it back. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Slow the breath right down. Another breath in. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, coming back to your forward fold at the front of your mat. Drop down. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Take your arms up to the sky. And exhale, arms down by your sides. Okay, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart, soften your knees, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, we're going to twist out to the right, no, to the left. Then inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands down this time. Okay, so now let's start by extending the left leg a little. Again, don't go super straight. Keep a little bend in the left knee, but it's not as bent as it would be in a lunge. So your knee isn't over your ankle anymore. You're pulling back a little bit. Then keep your right hand down, and we're going to take a little twist here. So again, a little bit of softness in that left knee. Don't bend it all the way, but don't straighten it all the way either. Then left arm up to the sky. Straighten your left leg a little bit more if you can. Yeah, there. Turn your chest up towards the left hand, breathe. Press the right leg super straight. Now stay in this twist, but bend your left knee so that your knee comes over your ankle. Keep turning your chest up towards the sky. Breathe in. And then bring your left hand down. Step forward to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, take your arms up to the sky. And exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart, bend your knees a little, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Then as you exhale, we twist to the right. Then inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Again, we want to find that place in between the bent and straight right leg, okay? Then keep your left hand down and we're going to twist here. So right knee is not straight and it's not bent. It's somewhere in between. Reach that right shoulder back. Let right fingertips to the sky. Turn your chest up towards that right hand. Press your left heel straight back. Breathe. Another breath in. Right hand comes down, we step forward, back to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms to the sky, and exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press it back. Inhale, come to plank. Knees up or down, we lower to the belly. Keep your hand, take your hands wide. Press down into the tops of the feet. Inhale, rise up, wide-handed cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right shoulder, then left. Exhale, right shoulder, then left. Inhale, left shoulder, then right. Exhale, left shoulder, then right. Inhale, both shoulders, reach back. And exhale, lower. Slide your hands back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And out. And then slowly walk your feet to your hands, coming back into your forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, take your arms to the sky, and exhale, arms by your sides. Okay, bring your feet together now, big toes touching. Arms by your sides, take an inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Start to step down into your left foot and bring your right knee up into your chest. We'll take a little balance here. Keep your thumbs pressing back into your sternum lifting up into your thumbs. Now we're going to pass through our warrior three, our Degasana, by starting to bring the chest forward, extending the right leg back. Left leg's going to be pretty straight and strong here with just a tiny bit of softness behind the knee so you're not locking it out. Then slowly start to bend into the left knee, stepping that right foot back into your lunge. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands come down. Now this time, we're going to pull that left leg as straight as is accessible. And you have the option here, if you feel like when you straighten the leg, you're really reaching for the floor, then let your upper body round here, that's fine. If you feel like you're pretty stable here, hands are still down, you can straighten the left leg a little bit more and lift the chest so you get a little bit more length in the torso. But if this feels already like a big stretch, don't worry about being a little bit rounder in the back body. Now step your right foot forward just about 2 inches. Sink the right heel down in the direction of the mat. Plant your right hand down under your shoulder. Turn the left bum cheek straight back behind you and then take your left arm up. to the sky. Now this time, that left leg is as straight as is accessible. Turn your chest up nice and straight and strong to that back leg. Take another big breath. And then as you exhale, take your left hand down, bend into your left knee. Now walk your hands forward in front of your left foot. Go about 6 to 8 inches in front of the left foot. Shift your weight into your left foot and extend your right leg straight back. Now this time, we're gonna keep a little bend in the left knee. So don't walk out that left knee, little bend. Keep your right hand down, really straight and strong to that right leg. Kick the right leg back and then left arm up to the sky. We're gonna twist in our balance here. Nice. Breathe. One more big breath. Then left hand down, right foot down, fold. And inhale, rise up halfway to lengthen. And exhale, fold, drop down. Inhale, rise all the way up, take your arms to the sky. And exhale, arms by your sides, feet together. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. We stand on the right foot. Left knee comes up into the chest. Bring those thumbs back into the sternum. Lift the sternum, get strong through the belly, really strong through the right leg. Then we pass through. We're gonna come through Degasana. So extend the left leg back, balancing on the right leg. Right leg is relatively straight for this one. Stay really strong through the belly. Then start to bend into your right knee. Step your left foot back, nice and strong. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands down. And we're gonna pull the hips back, getting as straight as is accessible in that right leg. Remember, if it feels like a really big one, you feel like suddenly you need to come away from the floor, let your back body round, that's okay. If you feel like hands are down, you're okay, then find some length along the torso there. Make sure your right bum cheek is facing straight back behind you. Step that left foot in a little bit, plant the left hand, take your right arm up to the sky. Turn your chest up, legs super straight and strong. Push down to that right foot. Sink that left heel back. Another breath in. Then right hand down, bend into the right knee. Walk your hands forward of the right foot. Step forward into that right leg, extend the left leg back. Now, remember we've got a little bit of a bend in the right knee, but that left leg is really strong. It couldn't be any stronger. Left hand stays down, right arm up to the sky. And we twist our balance. Kick that left leg back, turn the chest up towards the right hand. Take one more breath. Then right hand down, left foot down, and fold. Bring your feet as wide as your mat now. Grab onto opposite elbows and take a sway side to side there. Heavy through the head, the neck, the shoulders. And then come back to center. Turn your heels in, toes face out. Take the bum down, we'll come for our squat. So if the heels can stay down, let them stay down. If they need to lift, that's okay too. You can use your hands down for support. You can bring your hands into your heart, keep your chest lifting, close your eyes. Push those knees out wide. Don't round through the back body here. If you bring a little bit of weight forward here so that your elbows are kind of forced to push the knees even wider, you're going to get a little bit deeper into those inner groins. If that's not appropriate, you just stay nice and upright. Another breath. And then you can let your knees come together, bring your bum down. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together here. And bring the heels nice and close to the bum for this one. So Baddha Konasana, heels nice and close to the bum. We're going to sit up as tall as possible here. And you might need to hold on to your feet to sit up tall so you don't feel like you're rounding back there. Let the knees open without any kind of force there. Shoulders back, chest lifting. Back of the neck nice and long. Slow the breath right down. Check in. And we're just practicing. No drama. Then grab a hold of your big toes here. So first two fingers in your thumb. You're gonna wrap the first two fingers between the big toe and the second toe, and then grab a hold with your thumb. Then we're gonna lean back, keep the chest up, and then we're gonna lift the feet up and find a little balance. Now maybe the feet stay pretty low, and that feels like a balance enough. Or maybe you can bring the feet so that the calves are about parallel there to the mat. Now really pull your knees back to keep your chest lifting. And breathe. Few more breaths. Okay, now don't lose this balance, but bring your knees together, cross your ankles, hug your knees into your chest. Don't lose the balance. Now you should feel a little wobbly here. If you don't feel wobbly, it's because you're sitting back on your low back, right? So you want to sit up nice and tall. So you're like, woo, 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 I'm gonna fall. That's good. That means you're balancing on your sitting bones. Keep the chest lifting, keep squeezing in. Take another breath. And then slowly, we're gonna roll back onto the back, keep the knees hugging into the chest. And then extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Cross your right knee over your left and bend your knees, just like we did earlier. Okay, now this time, you either have the option of doing what we did before by bringing your hands onto your shins and hugging the knees into the body. And that might be a really substantial stretch in your outer right hip there. So that's a really good place to be. If you're here and your outer right hip, you're not really getting a whole lot there and you want a little bit more, then lift your heels away from your bum a little bit there. And then bring your hands to your outer ankles and then pull the ankles away from each other, right? So now you're pulling your feet, your ankles out to the sides rather than down towards the bum, which is, if you think about it, when we were in the beginning of this practice, we were in child's pose and we crossed the right knee over the left, and then we sat back to the space between the heels. So this is that same stretch, but now we're reclined. So it might feel different, but it's that getting the bum between the heels rather than sitting on the heels. Not that we're looking back. Take another breath. And then release the legs up to the sky again, extend the legs up. And then cross left over right and bend the knees. And same thing again. So maybe you're hugging the shins in, maybe you've got your hands around your shins and you're hugging in, or maybe you're lifting the heels up and maybe you're moving the feet away from each other. Try to keep the head and the neck nice and relaxed here. All right, and then let's release that. Uncross the legs, give your knees a great big hug in, take a little rock side to side. And then arms out big and wide, or go for the goalposts. We're gonna knock the knees to the left to start. Keep the back of the right shoulder down and then extend the legs out. And this time, if you wanna go a little bit straighter with the legs, go for it. I like to straighten my legs and then bring my feet up to my left hand so I can hold on. But if your feet don't reach your left hand, that's cool. Just extend the legs, especially that right leg. Send your right hip away from your right shoulder. So if you just close your eyes and visualize a line from your right outer hip and your right shoulder. Visualize that line and visualize how you can move the right hip away from the right shoulder. So the right shoulder is going to drop back into the mat and the right hip is going to move down towards that corner of your mat. And if you want to turn your head to the right, you could do that. Otherwise, just rest the head back. And then release. Let the knees bend, come back to center. And then we're going to go to the other side, to the right. Extend the legs. Maybe straightening, maybe bringing the feet to the hand, or maybe just extending the legs. Take the back of the left shoulder back, and then once again, visualize that line along the left side of your body. From the left shoulder to the left hip. The left shoulder drops back to the mat. The left hip moves away. And then release. Let the knees bend and come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Give them a great big hug in. And then we'll come to Supta Baddha Konasana for a few moments here. So the soles of the feet will come back together as the feet come down. Knees knock out wide. Let yourself settle there. If you want to grab another layer here, Ada, do you want to turn that heater back on if you're cold? You can take your hands and rest them on your body here. Relax your shoulders. And remind yourself that this is a practice. And some days we come to practice, and there are these moments, maybe just a few, where we experience presence. And maybe they're really fleeting moments, but they're moments. And these moments of practice so we don't have to overcomplicate, we don't have to overthink, we just remember that we have this power. And when we remember, we harness this power of presence. And what starts as a few sporadic, random moments of presence eventually allows us to realize this power. So that we can tap into and experience the benefits whenever, wherever, however. You can keep your legs as they are, or you can extend them if that would be more comfortable. You can keep your hands on your body, or you can take your arms by your sides and turn your palms to face up. You can settle here. You can soften. You can be. So start to take a deeper breath in through the nose. And then a slow sigh out through the mouth. A little wiggle in your fingers and your toes. And take your arms overhead for a big long stretch. And then relax your arms and bend your knees and roll over onto your side. And just pause there for a moment. No rush. And when you're ready, find your way back up. Bring your hands to your heart and bow your head in honor of and gratitude for this power.